Hello. Have you ever wondered which fairy tale the Disney movie Frozen is based off of? Well, it's a story called The Snow Queen by H.C. Andersen. I'll read you a little bit. You must attend to the commencement of the story, for when we get to the end, we shall know more than we do now about a very wicked hobgoblin. He was one of the very worst, for he was a real demon. One day, when he was in a merry mood, he made a looking glass which had the power of making everything good or beautiful that was reflected in it almost shrink to nothing, while everything that was worthless and bad looked increased in size and worse than ever. The most lovely landscapes appeared like boiled spinach, and the people became hideous and looked as if they stood on their heads and had no bodies. Their countenances were so distorted that no one could recognize them, and even one freckle on the face appeared to spread over the whole of the nose and mouth. The demon said this was very amusing. When a good and pious thought passed through the mind of anyone, it was misrepresented in the glass. And then how the demon laughed at his cunning invention. All who knew to the demon's school, for he kept a school, talked everywhere of the wonders they had seen and declared that people could now, for the first time, see what the world and mankind were really like. They carried the glass about everywhere, till at last there was not a land nor people who had not been looked at through this distorted mirror. They wanted even to fly with it up to the heaven to see the angels, but the higher they flew, the more slippery the glass became, and they could scarcely hold it, till at last it slipped from their hands, fell to the earth, and was broken into millions of pieces. By now, the looking glass caused more unhappiness than ever, for some of the fragments were not as large as a grain of sand, and they flew about the world into every country. When one of these tiny atoms flew into a person's eye, it stuck there, unknown to him. And from that moment, he saw everything through a distorted medium, or could see only the worst side of what he looked at, for even the smallest fragment retained. To be continued.